replacing oil and filter on 2011 Hyundai Elantra Touring SE. Now the stuff and the tools that you need to perform this job: you need an oil filter, motor oil, 4.2 quarts at least, oil funnel, ratchet, 3/8 ratchet, and oil pliers wrench, 17mm socket, 10mm socket to remove the cover, and a 17mm combination wrench to tighten the drain plug. And the tools that you might need is an extension, 3/8 extension, drain plug, 17mm drain plug, in case if you do lose your original drain plug or it's more gruddy and is scrumbed, whereas these threads are not there anymore, so you might need to replace it. A gasket, if the old gasket is not in good condition, is more thinner, is recommended to replace the gasket every time you do oil changes is good, because the life of these things are not very long. But if the old one looks good, you can keep it or you can replace it with the new one. Need a pair of gloves. You might need a parts holder in order you need to drop your nut or your gasket, so if you don't lose it and it's not lying around everywhere. You might need a oil filter wrench if it's too tight to remove it, and you might need a low pro oil filter wrench. Might need a bigger funnel in case you need to put that on your oil pan or your waste storage, so if you don't want oil to go everywhere. You might need a flashlight as well if you're trying to see dark areas, find where the nut is. And you might also need a pick tool if your washer is stuck to your nut, to remove it and to disengage it from there. You also need some rags in case you end up making a mess, and also need to clean up afterwards. You do need a pair of jack stand to place your car in, floor jack to lift up your car, oil waste container or oil pan, and maybe the extra pair of jack stand for additional safety. And you might need a pair of wheel chocks, so safely secure your rear wheels from it rolling. It's just an additional safety. You need a tarp to lay it on the floor, or a cardboard or something, so if the floor is dirty, you don't get dirty. And you might need a Gatorade if it's really hot outside. And that's about it. Make sure the emergency brake is lift up. Remove 3 10mm nuts on the oil cover. Here's one right here, and here's the second one right there, and the third one is right here in the rear, the cover right there. Remove the 17mm oil pan nut right over there, and make sure the gasket dust comes out with it. Remove the oil filter. After removing the old oil and filter, just lubricate the new filter with a little big film of oil on the top. Install the new filter back in place. Just hand tight it. Make sure it's tight enough. I will change my drain plugs. As you can see, This one is all chewed up, rusted, and as you can see, this thread is almost flat right there, and it's not gonna work. And you see this one, threads are still intact and pretty sturdy, so I'm gonna go with the new drain plug. Put the drain plug and the new washer in place. Tight the drain plug using a 17 millimeter combination wrench. Lift up the hood and remove the oil cap. Place the oil funnel and add 4.2 quarts of oil. Now the way you measure oil level in this 5 US quart 1 gallon oil jug is there are markings right here, and as you can see it starts right here, and the oil was filled up here, and I needed 4.2 quarts, so I marked it where the 4.2 is, and when I put the oil in the car it was exactly right when I checked the dipstick. So the oil was right here, so from here to here is 1 quart, that's 2 quart, that's 3 quart, that's 4 quart, and then I just made a mark here, approximate 4.2 quart approximately, and the below is just extra oil, so all the way below is 5 quarts, so I just need 4.2, and that's how I make the markings, and that's how I put it in, and it was accurate. After adding 4.2 quarts of oil, removing the oil funnel and putting the cap back, make sure go back in the bottom that there are no oil leaks. If you need to use your flashlight, use it, and make sure there are no oil leaks. You just want to make sure that you have tightened it right, that there is no gap and it's not leaking any oil, or oil is not coming out from here if you have placed any gap. So just make sure there is no oil dripping from here. If it's not, that means you have done this right, and looks like there is no oil dripping here, so this is tight just about right, because you don't want to over tight this also. So when you're tightening it, you're just giving it one little form and just letting it go, because if you over tight this, then you're gonna have to remove the whole oil pan, because this gets stripped, you're gonna have to remove the whole oil pan. So you don't want to over tight this. So once you tighten it up, once you put the oil, just make sure there's no oil coming out, so you know it's good tight. Okay, it's enough tight. This is also snug good, because you also don't want to over tight this also. So once you're done adding the oil, there's no leak here, it's all good. Now the cover is back in place. Now lower the vehicle. Now check the oil level with the vehicle dipstick. Make sure the vehicle is placed in the flat space, it's not tilted forward or not tilted backward. In order to get a proper read, the accurate read, make sure it's placed in a flat surface. And the reason I let the car running, so the engine becomes hot, the oil becomes hot, so I need to get a right temperature when the oil is hot. Now you can also check it if the car is not running, that's okay, but I just want to check it while it's hot also. So move the dipstick, wipe it, and then put it in again to check the oil. Now the oil has to be in this upper dot, so you can, as you can see, there are 2 dots in this dipstick right here. There's 2 dots, and the oil need to be on the upper dot. Okay, the one on the top. Let's place it in there. Check it. As you can see, the oil is on the upper dot, so the oil level is just about right where we want it to be. Let's make sure here. Yep. As you can see, it's right there on the full dot, right there. So this is perfect right here. So the oil filter is changed, the new oil is there, 4.2 quarts, and everything seems correct, the level is correct, and this is how you properly replace the oil filter on 2011 Hyundai Elantra Touring. And this is how you also do it very safely, so you avoid all the hazards, all the accidents that could happen while you're doing that. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please share, subscribe, like. Thank you very much.